Tinubu will go and hire lawyers with $2.5 million. Omo, cash out, Buruku. $2.5 million to hire lawyers who can stop FBI from releasing those documents. But they didn't stop, they couldn't stop them, but they managed to win the part of privacy. So FBI had to follow that. So everywhere Tinubu is mentioned, they removed his name and they put a blank box in them. That is called redacting. So you just need to join the pieces together. Everywhere you see box, Tinubu's name and details stay there. Do you understand? But the FBI released the documents on Tinubu's heroin dealing. David Hundeyin had already done a very detailed report on this, which was actually the genesis of Tinubu's nightmare. He has played this game. Initially, they wanted the, you remember that the Supreme Court of Nigeria was to give their judgment tomorrow, November 2nd. They quickly changed their mind upon the advice of his American lawyers. If you can get the Supreme Court to give you your judgment quickly, right? FBI may release the document anytime, even though they will remove your name. Nevertheless, they will still release them, and that could still cause some damages. So they draw back, they brought forward the Supreme Court judgment, so that they can, they can quickly legitimize him. And true to it, last night, which is Monday, FBI released over 300 documents on how Tinubu and his gang were trading heroin in America. How they were, in fact, Tinubu's PhD, Tinubu's accountant, he said he's an accountant, Abi, that he worked for Deloitte. That is a lie. He never worked for anybody called Deloitte. Tinubu told you he worked for Mobile as an accountant. That is also a lie. He never worked for Mobile as an accountant. The only people Tinubu worked for as an accountant was accountants to heroin dealers. And I didn't know there is something called drug mathematics. I didn't know. FBI, in their own investigation, some of the evidences, right, they were picked from the trash can, the bin of Tinubu and his associates, the bins they have disposed of, piece of papers that they have pieced, FBI put all of them together. That was when I realized that there is something called heroin math or drug math. Drug math, wow. Tinubu was an accountant to drug dealers. And the drug dealer, this Andrew guy that Tinubu was working with, that Andrew no be Oyinbo, that Andrew na Yoruba, that Andrew na Naija. So they now gave his name as Andrew something. I'll show you. But they now use AKA Yoruba. All of this, and these people were making, as at 1990, they were making between $15,000 and $20,000 every day. Yes. No wonder when the DEA, IRS, who were tracing the narcotic trading involving Tinubu and his wife and his cousin, when they were investigating them, around that time, Tinubu has already run away from America. So they found $1.8 million in his bank account. Now, that $1.8 million, as a proceed of drug trafficking, you could now tell. When they asked Tinubu, how did he make $1.8 million? You know what he said? He said his mother, Abibatu Mogaji, FBI, also quoted Tinubu's mother, Abibatu Mogaji, in the drug dealing investigation. That is true. He said he inherited money from his mother, and that's how he got money to put in America. Because his mother was involved in what he called, I think, import and export, and then estate sort of, property business. But when he told Nigeria, he told people in Nigeria that Deloitte paid him $1.8 million, and he put the money inside his bank account in America. That's what he told Nigerian media, or that's what Nigerian media are helping him to say. Drug proceed. Man, don't waste your time. I'm not going to read through everything. I'm just going to show you all of the documents. We'll start with this. For you to understand, initially they were celebrating, they were so happy when they heard that FBI will no longer release Tinubu's criminal record because American court said they shouldn't. So they were celebrating that. But when you look at this is from the FBI, United States Department of Justice. And if you look, if you read on the top right, where it says Greenspan v. EOUSA et al., a civil action number, the case number, request, FOIPA request number, you see that there. Then subject. Can you see where it says subject? See who is the subject? Bola Tinubu et al. So this is the name that Tinubu paid $2.5 million for to be removed. He actually wanted this whole thing never to be released. Okay? So what he now did was that they managed to use $2.5 million to remove his name. But the subject of the report is about him. So when you now start looking what they agreed to release and others, the FBI has over 70,000 documents on Tinubu. That's what they told us. And that they will be releasing them in batches. So this is the letter backing up what they are about to do. So the whole quoting the section of their law and all that before they finally, started releasing them. Now, these are the pages. In fact, it's over 200, not even 300, right? So, 219. Now, from here is where the document started, okay? And it wasn't even in Chicago area. It was in Indianapolis, as you can see, okay? So look at this. It is Lee Andrew Edwards, a.k.a. Lee A. Andrew, a.k.a. Lee Edward Andrews. Okay, then Adegboyega Akonde. Sorry, Andrew was actually Oyibo. I mixed them up. So Adegboyega Akonde, that is Tinubu's cousin. All right. Now, when you go on and on, where they kind of detailed how the investigation started, why it was meant to be done, and then how it was done step by step. Right? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to stroll through them. I want you to keep staring at your TV. Don't bother reading them, okay? I will share the link in the comments. In fact, let me do that just now. So I'll share the link in the comments to everyone who might be interested in actually going through them if you haven't really seen them, all right? This is the criminal record of the president of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, okay? So a complete career criminal, a hardened criminal. You know what I mean? A accountant to drug dealers. That is the president of Nigeria. And Supreme Court of Nigeria can't change that. You see those places where you are seeing all those dash. If you see SA before the dash, that is them trying to redact, to remove the name of the investigating officers, the officers who investigated this crime at the time. So just so you pay attention, by the way. And these are documents. Let me see if I can actually reduce it enough to give it a proper context. So like I said, I'm just going to scroll them on your screen. You are going to look at them and see and read through if you can, or just glance through, okay? This is the President of Nigeria, all right? An inquiry of IOALs revealed the following vehicle registration data. So these are Tinubu's data. They are trying to redact out of there because the court said they shouldn't put his name. You understand that now? So they were monitoring all of their activities, all of their movement, the places where they were meeting, those involved, the point where they were selling all the drugs and everything, right? All of these were detailed in these reports. How how Lee Andrew, who has so many properties across Indianapolis, as well as, what do you call it? Yeah, I kind of do. Okay, don't worry. If that link is not opening, I'm going to give you another link, okay? That one, all right? You will then need to download exactly this, because I downloaded this before I could actually use them. Or else I'm going to be reading them through something else, right? So don't worry, I'll get to that before, because I'm going to do this just for another maybe 5-10 minutes, just to go through it, okay? So where they were using fronts, where they were using their wives to open bank accounts, you know, how they're calculating their money, the money being made, who was the supplier. So how they were using all of these properties where they were actually like cash picking points, drug picking points, where Tinubu, the accountant, was also banking the money and making details of how he's kind of moving the money for them, kind of cleaning the money for them, all of this. So this were the part of the initial investigation details of these documents. It is only when you get into the middle that you begin to now see the what I called drug mathematics. Okay, so people were being picked. Hundreds of people went to jail because of this. So, and that's why a lot of people are wondering why Tinubu was. America didn't request for the extradition of Tinubu, but rather they decided to recruit him. So could it just have been that instead of him going to jail, right, he became the asset of the American CIA? A lot of speculation and hope, because you can't have all of this information on somebody who committed this kind of crime in America, and somehow you only ask him to forfeit $460,000 and forget jail. There must be more. You know what I mean now? So people are asking questions, but again, they want us to to make do with the available ones. And yeah, you don't need anybody to kind of remind you or tell you how bad this is. Okay? You don't need anybody to, right? Now, you have a country being led by drug dealers. He's about to buy a yacht, by the way. Yeah, they want to buy him a yacht of 5 billion naira. And that is $5 million, by the way. Now, from record, it's quite easier. Now, they even bought in their drug dealing business, they even bought a liquor store. You know, those liquor store where you go to the corner shop to buy your, your drink and all of that. They even bought one, which was actually being used for the drug money, for laundering drug money as well. All of this, Tinubu was deeply involved, like seriously involved. The head of the operation was his own cousin. Do you understand that? So they were deeply involved. And the two of them were from Iragbiji in Osun State. So yeah, this, although in Nigeria right now, with the help of the Nigeria Supreme Court that legitimize the criminal as the president of Nigeria, all of these documents, they are no longer in any way useful in prosecuting Tinubu. He is now the one who is now prosecuting everyone who ever talks about this. Right now, his own supporters and followers who are also kind of crying and under the hardship of the drug baron, right? So his followers believes that if you ever talk about this, or like showing this, do you get that now? So yeah, a check of the records of the California DMV revealed one. That is Tinubu's name. I told you everywhere you see all these blanks, yeah, those are Tinubu's names being taken out, except if you see SA in front of the names. If you see SA before the box, that is the investigating officer. All right. So in one of these, right, in one of the report of FBI, sometimes in April 1990, here they were talking about the identification. Listen to this. They said the FBI Identification Division has recently received the enclosed name checks and or record request from your agency. These items are being returned without processing as explained below, right? So these were like the background check throughout the investigation too, you understand? Check. When they were doing like, who are these guys, right? Like, take for example, here is one. It's like putting down your report, right? It said, the Chattanooga and surrounding area cross-reference directory shows the subscriber to telephone number 61 blah 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 blah, right? The Charlotte Motel and Restaurant, 25th Street, Cleveland, Tennessee. These are, you know, locations of where either they bought or they were actually trading, putting people on the spot to sell those drugs in those times. Indianapolis is in Indiana. So they said that Tinubu's criminal adventure in America, crisscrossed so many states. It's not just Chicago. Do you understand? It's crisscrossed so many states: Virginia, Indiana, California, Illinois, which is that of Chicago, and so many other places. So in their investigation, it was a big thing. Now, let's go forward to further places where they started doing the heroin math, okay? Where they said they picked up all the evidence from the trash can of Tinubu and his crew. They said at approximately 12:31 a.m., a plastic bag containing trash was seized from the public alley located adjacent to the garage of a residence occupied by Lee Andrew Edwards at 1522 Taft Street, Gary, Indiana. This trash bag appeared to have been abandoned in as much as it was located in an area accessible to the public. The examination of the content of this bag revealed the following described items. Now take a look at this. So this is where you're going to see heroin math, okay, or drug mathematics of Tinubu and his gang as far back as early 1990. One plastic bottle containing packing cotton label pajamas, that's quinine hydrochloride with numerous empty gel capsules. A piece of paper bearing the handwritten notation in quotes, 2 fleet enemas, buff stool softener, 1 small box Epsom salt. These were ingredients of making drugs, by the way. So 3, a piece of paper bearing the handwritten notation in quote, 226 W's, 33 G's, of quote. Number 4, a piece of paper bearing the handwritten notation. This was in August 1990. Sorry, I think it was in March 1990 or so. So they said W/132, now formula -2 is equal to 130. And times 8 is going to be $11,040. How many of you will be math genius? How many of you know this math? W/132 or W over 132 minus 2 is equal to 130 times 8. And the answer is $11,040. Heroin math. On the back of this same paper, the following notation appears $1040. Then the fifth one evidence is that a piece of paper bearing the following handwriting notations. Here is another one. Oh. So they entered it as evidence and they put it away. Okay. Here is another math, heroin math. Okay. Examination of the trash can. 114 times 8 is equal to W. And that is $912. All of now will be, so what is W? W is $912. So how? Do the math. On the back of this same paper, the following handwriting notation appears. Did you see that box? Na Tinubu names, oh. Na Tinubu name DDL. You see that box? That box that is above 114. Na Tinubu names, oh. They said they must redacted his name out of there. Remember that. That is Tinubu's name handwritten on the paper. And he is the accountant. In Ain, they do the math. You understand? 114 times 8 is, if 114 times 8 is 912, that is W. Abi? Then another piece of paper. A piece of paper bearing the handwriting notation 941 minus 3111. On the back of this same paper was a partially illegible 3-digit number, possibly 405. A piece of paper bearing the following handwritten notation again. This time around, another Tinubu name. They have to off it, remove them. Under it, that box, so under it, you will see another formula, heroin formula. 110 W's. Then 3 minus 26. Then 15 G's. Sorry, 110 W's, 15 G's, 3.5 S. I don't even know what that means. Then 3 minus 26. The balance is going to be 256. I beg now, who know the formula? Oh, it's weight. All of you now be careful. Oh. FBI, just like your comment. Somebody said W is weight, which is true. If W is weight, that means the kilo, the weight of the heroin is W. Right. My brother, FBI, just like your comments now. They like it. That you are an expert. Very good. So, yeah, let's continue. Heroin math. So, my brother, if 110 weights or 15 G's or 3.5 is 3 minus 26, the balance is 256. Una know the formula? You know how they arrive at that? Native Numbu's work. I want you to remember that. Another piece of paper. A piece of paper bearing the following handwriting notation. Again, see all the numbers on your screen. I don't need to read them, okay? Then one envelope addressed to, they don't box them. Guess who is addressed to? When you see a box, what did I tell you? When you see a box, who is that addressed to? Bola Tinubu, Nigeria president. Now let's go on. In their investigation, they also said a handwritten letter which read as follows. Do you see that big box there? That big box you are seeing? That is a letter from Leandro to Tinubu after they did all of their heroin math. So they can't release it because it is Tinubu's, it was addressed to Tinubu. You understand how he's going to bank their money? Here is another one. A piece of yellow lined paper bearing the following handwritten notation. Cigarettes, Saku. So, first NIPSCO, license bureau, check mark. The bank, rent on 7th. Cleaner, Tri-City, maybe, and try to come over by 5 or 6. Tinubu. That box, now Tinubu name, there. They told him to buy cigarettes when he is coming. Okay? They said that, there's something like license, whatever, now code. Now Tinubu. Inside that thing, they still do another heroin math, yo. See the heroin math. 605, maybe that one are for rent. 127, maybe not for one license. But see, this was also addressed to Tinubu. Anywhere where you see box, now Tinubu did there. And because of $2.5 million, that is why you don't see his name there like that. Always remember that, okay? So here we go. Call banks life insurance, cycle. Buy cigarettes. Essence order, Tinubu. Water and NIPSCO bill check. Don't forget. Check. DX, Manite, NIPSCO, crossed out. License, Bureau, and cleaners. Tomorrow. Now, these license, Bureau, and cleaners, they may be referring to their drug moves. Phone no day that time. They know the text message that time. They know you have to write note and send it. You feel me? Here is another part. Mid, erasable bond typing paper pad, empty, bearing the following handwritten notation. A, Tinubu, B, Tinubu. Then, another heroin math again. They don't do the math again. See all of that. Assorted white bond paper cut in various sizes. 2 pieces of folded aluminium foil. For those who know, those who cook drug, they are always using aluminium foil. Aluminium foil. Oh, that one fit do me more. Una fit cut that part out. And make a sensational video. Mayegun no fit pronounce aluminium. And you go say aluminium. Anyway, Shama will continue. They said, they always use aluminum, okay, which is aluminum foil. For those who know better, anyway. A white envelope addressed to Lee Edward with a return address name, Tinubu. 3 cut straw of various sizes and colors. Straw, science student. If you know that Olamide song, a science student with straw, smoking gas and the rest of that, it was a drug world. So here is another experiment. Again, see this one, a piece of paper bearing the handwritten notation, 2 fleet enemas, BOV stool softener, 1 small box Epsom salt. And go, okay, Epsom salt is just salt. Because I think I have Epsom salt in my own cupboard too. I think it's actually salt. But maybe they are using that for drug, cooking drug to see before they now produce them en mass. Here are another, heroin math, again, by Kolu and his gang. So on and on like that. That's the FBI file. So make a note to waste on our time because we still have a long night, okay? So I will share the link for everybody who is interested, okay? And you can read through them if you don't have a copy yet. And if you are finding it difficult to open the one I just shared, okay? I will try and get us another one, which is more, you can then download it yourself, okay? You can download it and then possibly read through. Tell your children you did not support the emergence of a drug dealer, even though Nigerians are going to be those who are going to be persecuted for this. So tell your children the role you play with the fact and the truth that you currently have. I have shared the link again. Can we go forward a little bit, please? Because right now in Nigeria, it is a very, very tough one to identify yourself as APC, Egbekegbe's members. It's a tough one, except if indeed, okay, your mental problem is beyond redemption. We have those who are still believing that everything is still going to be fine. There are people who are just eating tifnumbu and the rest of that. He has planned for them. He's going to give them renewed hope. But we're going to get to that part soon.